Welcome to a Drop Tent Media Production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another live episode of The Porcupine. I am Adam Nutter, your host. What's going on? Sorry, guys, I'm in the middle of a argument with communist pedophiles on Twitter right now, so we're kind of dealing with that. So constantly checking to see where we're on with that. But besides fighting with commie pedos on Twitter, you guys can continue to do comedy. This upcoming Saturday, our resident show at the Pop In, Chalfont, Pennsylvania, 2 shows, 7 and 9:30. Again, they're going to sell out. They're almost sold out already. Get your tickets now, droptent.com/events. Either show. They're both awesome. Same lineup this time. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to host a 7 o'clock one. So if anyone wants to come specifically see me, come to the 7 o'clock show. I'll be hosting that one. Then December 18th, I'm going to be opening up for my buddy James Saliva in Lansdale, PA. Shit, I forgot where. I have a brewery somewhere. It'll be on my info. Then the 30th, I'll be at Rexy's in West Collingswood, New Jersey, like northern New Jersey. So coming out to that. And then I'm hitting the road pretty hard the start of 2022, like actual road stuff, like traveling Texas, Cali, Florida. I want to try to get to fucking Ohio, New Hampshire. I have a bunch of good stuff coming up. So follow me on all that shit for all my stuff. And yeah. Oh, also go listen to Cult of Us, my comedy podcast. I know some of you guys like that. So go listen to that. Anything else, droptent.com. All right, enough of me. Guys, my guest for today, we met via the Mises Way, I think, of Pennsylvania. I think one of those chats, I think. I'll give it up for my man, Kyle Matovcik. Boom.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Thanks for joining me.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I like the arguing with commie pedos on Twitter. And, you know, I don't think pedophiles get enough slack because, you know, they could always be just straight communists who killed 100 million people. But, you know, if the worst they do is little kids, I guess it's not too bad.
I was told in the same argument thread that I posted a number. It was a meme. Of course, it's a meme because, as I said to you off air, I refuse to engage these people with any type of intellectual argument for my time or your time or any of our time. So I just hit it with memes. 100%. I'll just meme them, and they just keep trying to hit me with like things I would think they're gonna hurt my feelings. I just keep memeing them. So I sent that one meme out where it was the Flash kid doing the peace sign in front of the gravestone, and the gravestone said, 200 million dead from communism, and then the kid doing the peace sign was like edgy Marxist, and then the kid wrote under that. Of course, typical bringing up the numbers of communism, saying like that was due to communism, but it was. So
yeah, well, you know, you could look at the glass half empty or half full. There's probably a large portion of those people who probably were communists, and you know what they say: the only good kind of communist is yeah. So, and you know, it's sad that the rest of those people had to die, but you know, there's probably some communists bound up in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's the wild thing is like the back. So I already told you before listening. The back of this argument is we just keep getting called libertarians every now and then. Will get labeled as pedophiles because again, one dude I think it was the 90s, the early 2000s was at national convention. I think it was national convention, and he was a creep. 100%, and he was like, I think we should focus more on the age of consent laws and lowering them. And everyone's like, get the fuck out of here, you creep.
Yeah, well, just in case everybody couldn't tell, I was being completely sarcastic. But yeah, anybody who says shit like that, you're going to get chased the fuck out of the room in a heartbeat. I mean, it's not like there's going to be any debate. No one's going to say, yeah, you know what, those age of consent laws, I think that's the first thing on our plate. Let's go right for there. Dude, you will win nobody. You will convince nobody if you're leading with age of consent laws. It's kind of like, and I don't want to knock on anybody necessarily, but Jacob Hornberger last year, who's an awesome libertarian, was running on open borders and abolishing healthcare as like his main two things in like February, I think, of 2020. It's like, oh, we kind of agree, but you know,
right.
We're about to broaden this pandemic here. And nobody's going to want to hear that in 2020.
So I was actually not an argument. I was actually having an actual conversation with someone yesterday on Twitter, and he was a Republican dude, and he was kind of being not a dick, snarky, I guess. And I was kind of being snarky back, but we weren't like being dicks. But his whole point was like, well, libertarians don't win anything, and this and that. I'm like, and I was like, okay, but we're trying, especially like, I'm like, with the Mises Caucus, and then this guy doesn't know what we stand for. The Mises Caucus doesn't know what like a lot of libertarians stand for, and he just kept throwing out like fucking like, well, you guys believe in open borders, and I was like, not all of us. He's like, well, what's the MC stance on open borders? I go, they don't have one. He's right. Like, it's like, because I'm like, we're not a fucking cult. We're allowed to have individual thought. I go, I'll tell you where I stand on open borders. I go, personally, right now, I'm like, I don't think we should just be letting everybody in. I mean, at one place in time, sure, maybe down the road that'd be nice, but right now it's unrealistic, right? I mean, let's look at where we are. It's not like if we just take away the government tomorrow, everything's gonna be okay. There's gonna be so much fucking of a shitstorm from just wiping all that out, So it's like I personally, I'm kind of for and against them at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, so libertarians believe in open borders, and I was like, okay, man, you just it's like you don't.
Yeah, really we're not having a conversation anymore at this point. But this kind of goes to the heart of a lot of the issues that we've been seeing on Twitter lately, where you have people arguing about should police forcibly remove people from playgrounds, or there's just some people suggesting you go strapped to a playground with your 3-year-old daughter and like pull out a gun on a homeless dude. Like, do you guys have any idea how that looks? Like, think about what you're doing and think about what you're saying. And I understand it's not perfectly libertarian to say, hey, let's send the police in to remove homeless people who won't stop jacking off on the park bench. Yeah, it's not perfectly libertarian, but we can't just say privatize the parks and then they're privatized. Like, that there is a process, there's nuance to this. And if we're being stolen from, which we are, to pay for police and to pay for them to supposedly maintain these public commons, then they might as well do the job that we're paying them for.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, so I'm already being forced, right, to fucking pay taxes. So you would think, they have to at least do their job.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole, but this goes back to the Rittenhouse thing, right? Where it's like, oh, so those cops who were paid a salary through the city, state, whoever, were told to stand down and then just left. But you still have to pay taxes, because if you don't, you still go to jail. But they don't have to fulfill their end.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, yeah, so of course we're going to have more Rittenhouses be like, well, I guess I'll have to handle this myself. And then, of course, fucking Rebel Without a Cause podcast chimes in. Is this commie retard free zone?
Yes. It is a commie free zone. I won't guarantee that second part.
I'm mostly the second part. So.
Yeah. If we're libertarians, then to be fair, it's definitely not a retard free zone.
No, commie, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, we got one thing going for us, right? But, the Rittenhouse case was interesting, and I have a very, very good friend of mine who he leans left very, very hard. And after the Rittenhouse case, it kind of red-pilled him. And there was a friend of ours, a mutual friend, who bit on the mainstream narrative that he was out gunning down black people. And he got back to him and said, like, dude, there were no black people involved in this. Like, maybe they shouldn't be burning stuff down. And when I heard him say that, because he stood up for Black Lives Matter even when they would do bad things, and it's very interesting to see him mentally evolve. And that sounds condescending, but to see his kind of viewpoint expand beyond just, oh, Black Lives Matter good, police bad, black and white, to see him accept the greater nuance of it was really, really cool. And him and I have had a lot of conversations since then, kind of surrounding the bigger political landscape. And it's good to see that he finally gets it and that he's not quite so bitten on the mainstream narrative.
That is good. The other thing that concerns me is, like, and we all know why, so we don't have to get into it, but
yeah,
right now the Maxwell trial is going on. And have you seen anything from Fox, CNN, MSNBC?
Oh, dude, it's a complete total blackout, and it's not like it's just like a Democrat or a Republican thing. Right. I mean, dude, this everybody. So if any one of these news networks airs it, I mean, it tanks everybody that's lining their pocketbook. Like I said, it's not just, hey, Trump was hanging out on the island. Bill Clinton was there. Hillary Clinton was there. All these other names from, Israel, all these different countries, that they'll probably off you just for talking about it at this point. But yeah, that's why they're not talking about it, because everybody's in on this.
I was just saying, I tweeted this out, so if anybody saw it, sorry, but like Alec Baldwin just accidentally almost killed one person, almost killed two people, goes on TV, has a fucking whole expose about it, has all of his social media up, all this stuff. Maxwell trial kept going, and then his name got dropped from that book, deleted all of his social media.
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure I got a news article sent to my phone saying that after a disastrous thing on the news or some interview that he did, he deleted his social media account, but they won't bring that part up.
Of course not. But he just deleted it, like as in a day or two. Like it was, I'm pretty sure it was like a brand new delete. The American Airlines CEO just resigned today. I think he was named in that book. I'm not sure about him, but his name is Douglas Parker. I wish I fucking had the list up. He just Jack from Twitter resigned. Like when the trial, like a lot of 4 or 5 major CEOs resigned, like right as the fucking case started.
Yeah, I mean, correlation is not causation, but
right.
When you see a lot of names and a lot of different people kind of moving around there, definitely makes you kind of bat an eye and wonder what the hell's going on here. And obviously, we'll never know the truth of it, and no one, that has that kind of wealth, influence, or power is ever really going to dig it up. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I would like to know the truth of it and who all was involved and what exactly happened. But all we have is kind of some theories and little tidbits of truth, but to be honest, these people have probably done horrid things that we'll just never know.
Here's what I think happens with this whole case. First of all, this case could go on probably for months, but I already heard they're going to end it within the week. So if that doesn't red flag you already, because again, the Rittenhouse trial went on for longer.
Yeah.
This fucking trial, you know what I'm saying?
And there was video evidence of Rittenhouse unloading on some pedos. So, it's pretty clear cut. Like there's a 10-minute video of Rittenhouse getting chased by a dude with like a Molotov cocktail. And then he guns the dude down. And the video's pretty fucking horrific where you see the dude laying on his back, but fuck around and find out, dude. And then he's running down the street and everybody's after him. And my whole point with all this is, what the fuck makes you think it's a good idea to chase a dude that is open carrying?
So that question's been asked a lot, right? Obviously. Yeah. And I this is where I landed on it. And this is just bro science, Adam. I have no idea. Right. But I think they straight up didn't think anyone who open carries would ever use a gun. They're like, this is like, people don't get shot in America. This is America still. And no one's going to shoot me in the street unless it's a cop, and then they were wrong. By the way, that scene of him twitching on the floor with a bullet hole in his head brings me immense joy. Because he was a pedophile, and all pedophiles deserve bullets in their fucking head. Absolutely, I know it's a controversial statement now for some reason, but fuck that guy. Honestly, who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's fuck him.
So you're talking about the Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
So the Maxwell thing. So this is supposed to be wrapped up in a week. Where I think this goes is she'll go to jail because even they know, we have to throw someone under the bus. Like they can't let everybody.
Someone's got to be the fall guy,
right? So she'll go down. She'll go down forever, and then she'll either get whacked or she'll just shut the fuck up, right? And then no one gets in trouble.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably the most legitimate explanation of it. Like once she kind of came out, it was after Jeffrey Epstein, supposedly killed himself. Supposedly, that's the key word there. It's kind of surprising that she got brought into it too, but they're definitely looking to fucking bury it. I mean, we all know it. That's the reason why none of the news is touching it. They're just, as soon as she goes to jail, she'll, somehow stumble upon information that's going to lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton and then end up like everybody else there, and Hillary Clinton will walk,
Yeah, it's honestly very upsetting that like we know that's going to be the outcome of it.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it is kind of like a black pill, and I don't always like using that terminology, but it is pretty depressing that literally like the whole country pretty much knows like, hey, there's no way a dude somehow killed himself in a jail cell where nobody committed suicide in the last 30 years, and the cameras somehow went off, and that never happens, and there were no guards watching him as to where he was, a high priority person. Like, you're telling me all the stars align on just this one person, and somehow you missed him committing suicide? Like, dude, nobody believes this. I literally don't know any one single person that says, yeah, you know what, that totally seems legit.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. Really upsetting. It's because like, where do you go from there? Like as a society, like if we're like, but you have all the info, and they're like, I know, but like we don't care about you, and this is more important to us, and you ain't gonna do shit about it. And we're like, yeah, you're right.
Well, it's pretty much he has the CEO of Chase Bank on our line in our pockets. So if we really want to go down with this ship, then man, our pocketbooks are going to be hurting for a while. We can't afford that. So we got to let this lady walk. Maybe she'll die or something in prison, or she'll hang out there for a few years and then she'll walk. And I don't know, maybe go hang out down at Mar-a-Lago. But nothing's going to happen.
Do you think? So you think the same thing's gonna happen then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's no way that they're gonna, hang anybody for this. People of our persuasion would want to see justice for this. Like, put her in a cage, throw away the key in a room with no windows, and let them suffer for the rest of their life. But it's just not going to turn out that way. There's no way. And amongst the elite and powerful, there's no appetite for them to put away the people who more than likely line their pocketbooks.
I think there has been some white pills along the way with the Maxwell thing, right? I think that's fair to say. I don't,
sure.
I think another big wipe, which is important for us, like
for absolutely.
Us who are already, gone. In one end, we're like, this is all corrupt.
Yeah.
A lot of people again are seeing like oh shit, this is fucked up. Like these people hurt children, and then like no one's talking about it, So that's good. Another big white pill that we got, not from the same case, but just a white pill in general, is all this vaccine stuff. I gotta be careful what I say now because I don't want to get fucking pulled. But like all the force stuff, you had like moderate liberals who were all along with the science. And we're all along with the shots and all this. And then you see like, Australia, Austria, Germany, New York. And then people like those same moderate liberals who never believe what we had to say. We're like, hey, I don't think we should be segregating people from society. Like if they don't want to get it, that seems kind of fucked up. You have regular people saying this now.
Right. And that's a very, very important point. One of the first videos I did when I first started kind of coming out on YouTube was about the vaccine mandates and their popularity. And this article made me laugh because they surveyed 800 people and they said, well, Americans are split on vaccine passports, like 50-50. I'm like, you surveyed 800 people in a country of 330 million people. You want to say people are split? Like, my workplace as an auto mechanic leans heavy right. None of these people, a lot of them are vaccinated, but none of them favor vaccine passports. All the left people that I know of really don't favor them either. I mean, they're not quite as staunchly against them as you or I would be, but the appetite is not there for this kind of authoritarianism. And I think a lot of people are seeing the naked authoritarianism for what it is at this point. They kept floating out this $1 trillion spending bill. I'm going to apologize for my dog down there chewing on the ball. If you hear the air,
I was like, is a pug having a stroke in there? What's happening?
No, that's why a Doberman Australian Shepherd. Buddy, get out of here. All right. But people don't have an appetite for this authoritarianism that's kind of come down the pipes. So they float out these multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure bills, the Build Back Better plan, and they just keep getting knocked down, knocked down, knocked down. Because after 2020, where Trump signed away all the stimulus and the eviction moratoriums and the generous unemployment benefits, people initially didn't mind it because, hey, look, we're out of work, so hell, might as well take a paycheck and go on a shopping spree over to China, send all our goods there.
Right.
And let the good times roll. And now we're seeing all the consequences of that, right? You can only double the debt for apparently 25 years. And then people finally say, all right, well, now the emperor has no clothes. We're seeing inflation. So the appetite's not there for it. People don't want this. People are standing up and speaking out against it. So, they tried to float out the ideas and people said, we just don't want it. We don't want anything to do with this anymore.
I think a major problem, unfortunately, is like you just said, like, 20 years people got white pilled. Right, but it's taken 20 years and it's too late by then. That's the issue. And like, I don't know how to crack that because you, me, fucking Dave Smith on down. We all try to talk for the normal group consensus of people. And you still, some people like, oh shit, I get it now. But how many fucking people still are like, I don't see what's going on. I don't see the problem. I don't see your problem with printing money. I don't see your problem with the fucking force back mandate stuff. I don't see your problem with this. It's like, okay, you don't now. And then 5 years when you do, guess what, brother? You're fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's way too late. But you know what? There's something to be said for the mainstream news kind of dying off because if there is one good thing about Trump, and if you look through my Twitter feed, you'll see nothing but me completely railing on him because I just... He failed on all the fundamental promises that he made, and he knew.
Funny.
Yeah. He was absolutely hilarious. I tweeted the other day that one of my favorite things in the world was him saying "wrong."
So funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna forget if I say it. Shane Gillis has a bit like he was on a special, but I mean, I saw him working it before a special, where he's like, "I don't give a fuck where you fall politically." He's legitimately funny.
Oh my god,
he is.
I remember watching before he was elected him talking about Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, I'd love to sue Rosie O'Donnell just so I could take money out of her fat ass pockets. Like I was fucking rolling.
When they went, you hate women. He went wrong. I hate Rosie O'Donnell.
Or what the hell was it? Hillary Clinton said to him in the debates, I'd hate for someone like Donald Trump to have the nuclear buttons, the key from the nuclear buttons. Yeah, well, you'd be in jail. Yeah, you're such a mean woman. Like, his fucking one-liners were perfect. And I said it right from the get-go. He was totally unpresidential, but dude, it was perfect, though, because he was fucking hilarious.
And especially, as a comic, I'm like, how would I handle this? And I was like, no, you'd probably just roast him, too.
But so that speaks to a really important issue, though. And Ron Paul, I think, had the same kind of energy to him, at least from what I hear from people who were kind of around for that 2008, 2012 kind of deal, where it was fun to go to a political event, right? I've seen so many videos of Trump rallies of, just thousands of people all there lined up, listen to music, and they're celebrating like a cultural phenomena, right? Because that's essentially what Trump was. He brought the America First, Make America Great Again, MAGA, protectionist culture to the Republican Party at large, and they embraced it, right? They no longer wanted the Jeb Bush and the big government. Although Trump was a big government guy, he campaigned as a anti-war, small government guy, right? So he brought that culture to the Republican Party, and they adopted it. But going into 2022 and 2024, I think we have a very, very similar opportunity where if we get good libertarians out there, or even if there's liberty Republicans who are good about stuff, I'm a lot more skeptical of that, full disclosure. But if there's good libertarians out there, and I think there are, then we can do the same thing. We can make politics and the political realm kind of a fun thing where it can be a cultural phenomena. I totally think that's a doable thing. And in fact, I think that's the only way that we can do it, because look at how the left maintained power for so long. They took the culture. They took the universities. So we have to take a note from their book because no one can deny that they've been effective at it. So part of the reason why I started my podcast is because as a fitness guy, as a mechanic, hopefully a father soon, I want to bring libertarianism, I want to bring more culture to libertarianism. I want to make people feel like they're excited to be a libertarian, but that's not like the only thing that they are, right? I'm a musician, I'm a mechanic, I'm an athlete, I'm a certified personal trainer. My family's been in the automotive business.
I'm none of those things.
My family's been in the automotive business for, probably almost 100 years now, and I'm a libertarian. I want every libertarian to be the most impressive person out there. So that way people who aren't libertarians see us and think, wow, you know what else is there about them? We got to bring that forward. So that way, once again, more people want to be libertarians, because you don't look at, the loser brigade and think that they're inspirational people that you want to be like, right? I'm sure they're good on stuff, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, you're in the PA groups. Do you see what's going on with that Stroops guy, Vincent Stroops guy?
No, I missed it. Oh,
he's
I'm
posting. He asked if there's any like incriminating evidence like against the Mises people and for pictures of it, and like he's going around like posting all this shit in like the Liberty groups in PA openly just asking for it. So of course people trolled him back, for fake accounts, and then I weirdly got a follow by it was called like I just blocked it because
it's Mises Caucus Exposed, I think it was.
Mises Caucus Exposed. And
dude, as soon as I got the follow from that, I tweeted, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good.
I thought that might have been one of us trolling again because we we have their account.
Yeah.
So I thought it was that. And then I that's why I sent that question. I was like, hey, is this, before I block this, is this one of you guys, or is this like, should this like actually be blocking? And they're like, no, it's not. I was like, all right, so I blocked it. But then you had what's your face asking for strands of hair from like Angela and Heiss and Karen Ann, Jackie Perry.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that's legitimately like deranged lunatic behavior, and we're the bad guys. Dude, imagine you, me, or Heiss or any of us put on a public Facebook group, hey, if you guys could gather us some hairs from some of your events, I'll pay for it. We would be blasted as everything under the sun negative. Everything. And then I can't be like, you guys are fucking retarded, because then I'm the bad guy. Like, if I fucking do that. Also, simultaneously, I'm also doing fucking comedy at the fucking PA State Convention for everybody. So I have to fucking try to play like fair, because I want to be a dick and people hate me at the convention. So it's like,
you got a reputation to maintain because you're not a piece of shit. I can't remember where I posted it, but I said, man, if there's a market for hair, look, I don't really have all that much left. I got some beard, but like, if there's a market for it, I'll sell it.
Oh yeah, no. Are you gonna clone me? It'd be the most useless clone ever.
Yeah, my God. I mean, I'm a fucking douchebag already. Jesus Christ, you'd want another? Fuck.
Yeah, right. It's like, dude, I suck. You gonna want me again? Did you want bitch about working? Why?
Yeah, man, like we always joke about libertarians and autistic screeching, but like, my God, you want to add to that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like, what, your clone's gonna smoke a lot of pot and play a lot of video games. I don't know. If that's what you want, I guess, then clone me. But if not,
yeah, you see, I don't do the marijuana, unfortunately. But like, if you got Crown Royal, my God, I'll drink that till I can't even fucking walk straight anymore.
Fucking Shannon, no more nutters. Fuck you, Shannon. Oh, you want more Robbie Bernstein's? By the way, I am towers above Robbie in height. Okay, I'm 6 feet only, and I'm taller than most libertarians.
Are you serious? So I have this weird thing where I think I'm about 6 feet tall as well.
Yeah,
I think everybody is like just as tall, if not taller than me. I remember when I met Scott Horton at the Take Human Action bash, and I'm like, my God, this dude's tiny. Like, I thought he was gonna be like, but
Dave's
no.
Tall. That's kind of it. I don't know how many of these people you met, but I've been doing comedy a lot of these events, and I get to meet these people, And I am either eye level or looking down at most people. And I'm only 6 feet tall. I am not that tall. You know, I'm just like I guess technically slightly above average height, like you, but like, even like people like anybody who's not like Dave or anybody like that, like like there are some like Matt Hackenberg, PA guy. He's fucking like 6'6" or 6'6", but his wife's like fucking 5 foot, so it counterbalances his tallness with her.
Oh Jesus, yeah. But, you know, my fiance and her family, they're all like freaking ridiculously tall. So when I go into their house, it's kind of weird. I broke one of the light things in my bathroom, and it took me a while to recognize why my fiance said her dad's like 6'6". It's like, I just asked my dad about what size those lamps are, and like it didn't hit me. And then I thought about it like a couple days later. I'm like,
right, dude. Isn't that the most annoying thing? Being 6 feet and still having to look up at people.
Yeah,
it's so emasculating.
Yeah,
again, my guy I do all my comedy stuff with, my buddy Neil Wood. He's 6'5".
Oh Jesus Christ!
And it's so annoying because I'm 6 feet and I have to be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh, dude, that's like the worst fucking thing in the world because you know I'm like, oh yeah, I'm this big jacked libertarian, and then like, even if there's like just somebody that's taller than me and they're skinnier, I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, man. Immediately, like, I'll keep my eye on you. But also, being in a room with libertarians is like, and I mean this lovingly, it's like being in a room with just a bunch of autistic people. It's what? Did you ever see a bunch of libertarians try to fuck a chick?
Oh God, no, I couldn't even imagine.
Let me tell you something. Listen, I'm married, so that shit's done for me, right?
Yeah.
If I was single though, I could clean up because all you have to do is not be bad at talking.
Yeah. See, that's I feel a similar way because I'll be getting married next November.
Yeah, you're done.
But yeah, like I look at some of these other guys who are libertarians, and this kind of goes once again back to the reason why I started my podcast. I'm like, man, like we got to clean house a little bit. Like you guys need to pick up 12 rules for life and breeze through that. Clean up your fucking room. Like, go deadlift till you puke or something.
I'm not saying you should have to throw a 40-yard, 50-yard spiral. I get it. We all can't do that. Okay, like I grew up playing football. It's different. I'm not saying, but like I was watching it like a nature documentary. I removed myself from the situation, right? And I was like, it was like 5 or 6 dudes trying to fuck like 1 or 2 libertarian chicks. And I was like, oh, the male libertarian tries to mate with the female libertarian. You know, it was a lot of just bad jokes, a lot of stuttering, a lot of sweat, a lot of flop sweat.
No.
I was like, guys, just be cool. Yeah, I almost wanted to. I wanted to be their Cyrano and like hide behind like a garbage can and be like, laugh at her joke. Just laugh at her joke.
Yeah. Even if it's not funny, just laugh at it.
Laugh at the joke. Stop saying you're pretty. Stop saying you're pretty.
like stand upright or something. You know, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you? I couldn't even imagine.
Dude, at one point, I got them all to start doing karate kicks. Because I was like, I wonder if I could interject myself and make it fun for me now. And I remember walking in there and being like, I bet you guys couldn't kick because everybody was drunk. So I was like, I bet you guys couldn't kick above your chest. And we're like, I can kick above my chest.
Jesus Christ, I can imagine. This is just like it's like giving kids fucking dynamite. Jesus Christ. Like I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. It's just, all right, you are going to try to kick above your chest. Here's a shot. Now try and balance that as well.
Dude, I felt like a fucking Jedi. I was like, you'll all kick above your chest and embarrass yourselves. They're like, we're going to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
That's fucking great.
I'm going to throw my fucking hood on.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
But I love them to death. I love all those guys.
Mm.
Love them. They're my autistic brothers and sisters.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And see, it never comes from a place of like, fuck these guys. It's like, we want you to be better because once again, this goes back to the whole theme of we want more libertarians. We want better libertarians. And how do we do that? You got to be more impressive people because then you'll be more you'll be more convincing. You don't see I don't want to say any names. I'm very tempted to, but there's certain people who you see the way they look, and it's like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody even wants to hear a single word you have to say. Like, you're never going to make anybody else convinced of your ideas if you're not like at least confident in them. And if you walk around, just not threatening at 5'3", then dude, just nobody's going to listen to you.
There's actually something to that, because I remember the FBI a few years ago did a profile on like cop killers, and they asked them like, why did you kill the cop? Like, why did you, and besides the, like, I wanted to get away, besides that answer, a lot of it was like, oh, I thought I could because the uniform looked like shit. Like, the uniform had like stains. They look like they took care of themselves. Like all these things. And I'm like, oh, that translates to everything though. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Look good, present yourself good. Like, I'll even admit, very recently I did a fucking stupid fucking thing. I did this is a few months ago, I did the Mises, Virginia gig. And I forgot to pack like a nicer shirt. So I had to wear just like one of my fucking dumb, like, tees with like, I think it was Alice in Wonderland. It was Alice with all tattoos.
Yeah.
Punk rock Alice. And I remember watching the video back. I'm like, I kind of look like shit here on stage. Cause like, my pants are like low, my shirt's coming. Cause I fucked up. Like I forgot to pack a better shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, but I should just bought a new shirt. I should just bought a new shirt. So like, I always make sure, like, if I'm in a public place, like especially doing comedy or whatever the fuck, like I want to look presentable. I want people to look at me and be like, oh, that guy has his shit together, or like he looks like he has his shit together at least. Like now, like, oh, what he's saying sucks, but he looks good. Whatever, whatever the case may be. But like, you're a musician, so I feel like that has to translate a little bit to you also in a certain way.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you have to really plan for success, and it sounds so cliche, but it's absolutely true. If I don't bring an extra pair of strings, I guarantee you that's going to be the night that I break a string. And that has happened before. And thank God, the other guitar player in my band had an extra guitar with him because I didn't prepare one, or I didn't have another one. If you're not prepared for something and, you don't think, like, I'm so anal about preparing for stuff. I literally have everything I'm going to eat tomorrow already planned out. And I put in my lunchbox. I got the lunchbox right beside the door. The alarm clock goes off at 4:00 every single morning. I get up, I take my pre-workout, I walk on the treadmill, I get my workout in, I take my shower, come upstairs, let the dogs out, feed the dogs, feed myself, take them for a short walk, get to work. I mean, I prepare pretty much every single day the day before. And if I don't, then it's frustrating to me. But, you need to kind of get into that momentum of, you just always have to be ready to execute at all times. And one of the greatest sayings ever, it's another cliche, but, a man with no plan is no man at all. But, that's why everything I do, I always got, clothes pretty much for a show in the back of my car. Obviously, they don't sit there for months at a time. I wash them. I'm just always prepared. The gear for every gig that we play is generally in my trunk as well. So, it's just always be ready for the moment.
There's I've told this joke before, but it's worth telling to any actual musician. You guys and actors are expected in the entertainment world, right? In all the scope of all entertainment, actors and musicians are up here, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are respected by everybody universally somehow. Then it's everything else: mimes, clowns, comedian. We are the least, because here's why. How many people have come up to you after your show and went like, "Oh, I could do that"?
Yeah, I don't think any.
Okay, it happens quite often with us. Happens quite. Everybody thinks it's so easy to just go up and tell, because like, I'm the funny guy in my office. Not the same, Craig. Not the same.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I've watched a lot of comedy. One of my favorite comedians, although he's like completely politically different from me, Alonzo Bowden. I think he is just one of the funniest fucking dudes ever. But when you watch a comedy special, get out of here. nobody understands what it's like to be the focus of an entire room. And it did actually take me a while, even when I started playing in bands, to kind of get used to that, of being the guy in the spotlight. So, you could sit there and say, oh, yeah, I'm a good ball buster at work, and everybody laughs at everything I say. Well, you don't know what it's like when you kind of have to broaden that interaction where it's not just you and one other person. Now it's you and 25, it's you and 50, it's you and 300 people, and you got to be on point. And I couldn't imagine bombing. The only similar thing that I've probably had, and I'm so ashamed to admit this, and I feel so bad because even my drummer kind of busted my balls a little bit about it. We host these shows called Rock for Life, right? Well, it's a big charity event, and for the one that we normally headline, like we're the last band on the last day, there's normally well over 500 people there in this field in the middle of nowhere. It's this giant, like 40-foot stage. I got so piss drunk. I drank 9 White Claws and like a whole bottle of Jameson, and I tried to play. And the show went like good enough. And I saw videos. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know I could play that good drunk. But still, like my couple other of my bandmates messaged me the next day. They're like, dude, please don't get drunk when we play shows like that. So that's like the closest thing I got to bombing. And like people were sending me pictures and videos, and there I am standing on stage. I got the bottle of Jameson and down the hatch.
Yeah, that's a young comic thing. A lot of young comics will get fucking lit up before they go on stage because they're like nervous. And I'm like, you guys are gonna fucking eat dick. You're gonna eat dick. In fact, good friend of mine, he opens for me now when I go on the road and stuff like that. My buddy Blaze, he would constantly go up with like 4 or 5 beers in him and just eat shit. I'm like, hey man, stop doing that. I'm like, no one, you're never gonna get better if you. I'm like, you just gotta figure it out, dude. I'm like, just go up there and be nervous then, but just don't get drunk because it fucks you up your whole brain. Like I don't drink anymore, so it doesn't really bother. But like, I'll smoke weed before a show, but it's not the same. Like I don't get high. I just get like loose. I'm not even nervous anymore. I've been doing comedy for like 9 years, so I don't get nervous anymore doing comedy. It's just like it's still a show. You still want to do a good job. You still don't want to, So I'm like, oh, let me just fucking smoke. I'll just be calm, and then I'll feel good, and I feel loose and relax going out. But that's my biggest, I think, advice for any young entertainer. Really, don't get fucked up and go do your thing.
Oh my god,
be bad.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've tried to like play guitar in my room by myself, completely pissed drunk, and it never goes good. And that doesn't change when you're not in your house. When you go up on stage completely fucked up, it will be bad. And, you may be able to get away with it once or twice. And there are those outliers that just, no matter what they do, they're always on point. You're better off assuming that you're not one of those. And you're better off assuming that no matter what, you're going to fuck up. So, you should try and bring your A game every single time.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not fucking Doug Stanhope. You're not Ron White. Fucking go. You're a 2-year open mic comic. Go do your fucking joke. Like, don't you're not gonna get ripped. It's so fucking annoying. It's and then like when they finally figure it out, like, oh, you were right. No shit, guy.
Yeah, well, it's like the same thing. Our parents were probably right about a lot of stuff, and we just no, you don't get it. And then it's like 3 or 4 years later, you're like, oh well, fuck, maybe I should have listened.
It's so funny because like now, I take him with me to open because he's doing so much better. He's doing a lot better than he ever was before. And it's funny because it's like again, Neil, my buddy Neil was like, he's like, yeah, because you stopped drinking before you went on stage, so your sets are better. He's like, yeah. Like, yeah, bro, we both told you that. It's like, just fucking listen, you dummy. What was the other music thing I was gonna say? Music. I will get back to it. Not music at all, related at all. I wanted to jump in before the Tho Bishop thing, because we were talking about like Republicans and the libertarian stuff and like a lot of liberty related. Okay, I know it's so far from comedy music. I'm sorry, everybody. This show has no fucking segues. We are where we are. That's how my brain works. Don't get CT and smoke weed. I don't fucking know what to tell you. Obviously, there's been a lot of back and forth on Twitter in the last 3 to 4 days about like Tho being like, oh, you guys should just join the GOP because you guys will never win in the LP. And then like the whole Shane Hazel thing recently with him and the whole Marjorie Green Taylor thing. I understand their point when they're like, you guys don't win anything important, which we don't. That's true, right? All we win is local stuff, which is important, but it's not nationally important. So I understand what he's saying. So he's like, we'll just jump on the bandwagon. Okay. But the majority of the GOP are fucking cowards. They didn't stop the lockdowns. They didn't stop any of the fucking Fauci stuff. They didn't stop any of the mandates. They didn't stop anything. They did nothing. 80 House Republicans just signed a bill to set up a fucking national vaccine database. So when you have Tho being like, you guys should just join, why would I align myself with that? Which is diametrically, I think I used that word right, opposed to what I feel morally and legally and whatever the fuck you want to say. Right?
Yeah, well, I had Tho on my show, and if you listen to it, I sound even more retarded than normal because he is very, very good in his way of selling the GOP route to the skeptical libertarian from the skeptical libertarian. So if anybody wants to check that out.
Podcast, by the way.
What's that?
Skeptical Libertarian. Is that a podcast? That's a good name for a podcast.
Maybe it is. Yeah, that would be a good one. But
that's fine. I'm trademark. Skeptical Libertarian.
But I like Tho a lot, and he does say a lot of good stuff. And initially, I was kind of like, man, fuck this guy. He says the Libertarian Party's no good. Fuck him. And then, after a while, you begin to see why some people may have that bias against the Libertarian Party. But I agree. The GOP comes with a lot of baggage, and none of them are ready to, and not that I'm expecting them to stand up and disavow Trump, but none of them want to say that, look, Trump utterly failed in 2020.
Right.
As the guy who's supposed to be the outsider, he utterly failed because, as usual with his whole presidency, he talks a good game, and then as soon as it comes time to actually put your balls on the table and say this is the way it's going to be, he just bellied up every single time and signed on to every single spending bill. He never ended the wars. He drastically increased the drone striking program, to the tune of over 400%, where he killed more people by drone strikes in 1 year than Obama did in 8 years. Which is, as a dude who campaigned on being a war skeptic, dude, that's bad. Yeah. So fast forward to 2020, he criticized Georgia for not locking down. He criticized Sweden for not locking down. And then still to this day, he's saying that he saved 100 million lives by pushing Operation Warp Speed, platformed Fauci. You never hear him criticize Fauci. Where's the appeal to libertarians? And I understand that the GOP may be good on some things, but you don't give us a lot to go off of to be faithful on. You guys signed on to all this spending. You signed on to all the stimulus checks. You signed on to the the eviction moratoriums, and there's a certain comedic piece of Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to impeach Joe Biden for the eviction moratorium. Who signed that into law? And didn't you guys all make a big stink about them trying to impeach Trump over ridiculous stuff? Right. Like, look, your dude signed in the eviction moratorium, and now you want to impeach the Democrat president. Like, this is just clearly partisan lines, which, okay, partisanship can be a useful tool sometimes. That's a very, very small amount of times. But, if you're going to be partisan, at least make sure that, the shit that you're swinging for doesn't come back to hit you right in your own fucking face.
The last 5 years have literally just shown that's all they care about is whatever they believe, because there's really no talking with each other. That's done, dude. That shit's gone forever, I think. It really just becomes now a battle of who can control more. There really is no more talking to each other. That shit's right. I feel like even for a lot of just people who aren't into politics, who aren't actually a politician like you and I, even we see a lot of people like we talked about off there before, where you're like, dude, fuck you. I don't want to fucking engage with you, because you do nothing for me. And it's like, but that's another person in this country that has an opinion, and we're like, nah, fuck you, because that's what they kind of did to, and on purpose. I'm sure it's designed that way on purpose to make us fight, right? It's pretty obvious. I just still don't agree with just going to the GOP route. Yeah,
and I'm fairly in touch with the base, or at least so I'd like to believe. Once again, as a blue collar guy, a guy who works, 45 to 60 hours a week in freaking Cadillac dealership. Like, dude, I strictly work with boomer cons. These guys really don't care about those issues that that the GOP is supposed to be about. They really don't care. It's not a principled stance. The only reason why they oppose big government now is because it's not their guy in charge. And if Trump was president, we'd still see the spending. We'd still see the inflation. And honestly, we'd probably see the vaccine mandates as well, because just, once again, listen to any of the interviews he's given. He will sidestep the question of vaccine mandates. He'll say, oh, I prefer freedom, but the vaccine saved 100 million lives and everybody should go get vaccinated. In fact, if I was president, it was the greatest vaccine ever. There'd be no protests about the vaccines. He's a fucking vaccine salesman at this point. So once again, there's not a lot for the GOP to offer. Now, I understand there's perceived legitimacy to the GOP. Okay, I'll grant you that. But that's kind of changing. The Libertarian Party is starting to win locally. And, if we cannot win, let's say nationally or even federally or, on a state level, then maybe we can be that difference. Maybe we can essentially primary these people where we say, look, if you're not going to be good on the issues that we want you to be good on, then we're going to steal every last little vote from you and we will break you. And if you think about it, that's kind of what Shane Hazel did. And, hats off to that dude for just giving the finger to the man. And that's impressive, dude, to have Rand Paul and Mike Lee call you and to tell them both, like, ain't happening. Like, but you know what? There's something to be said there, because David Perdue only had a 20% constitutional voting record. Like, This dude is garbage. So are we just supposed to say, all right, well, this is the GOP. This is what we have to put up with? No. The point of the Libertarian Party, and at least the way that I see it, is that these people most closely align to my values. I'm going to support them. I'm going to vote for them. I'm going to go door knocking for them. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that these people are heard and that the message of liberty is spread. And that's not happening in the GOP. Basically, they're telling you, well, just vote for the GOP guy because they're not as terrible as the Democrats. Well,
they are.
Maybe,
really.
Yeah, because either they have enabled it or they have been completely helpless in stopping it. So, unless they're going to do what they say they care about or campaign on stuff that we care about, then no, screw you. And it's not that I'm biased to the LP. It's just the GOP has been so horrible. I don't feel compelled to do anything for them.
No, like I said, like when you mentioned it a lot with the so like even my wife, like she's more right leaning than libertarian. Like she was.
Sure. And
then I was like, hey, listen, you're so anti-lockdown and mandates, but who helped? I'm like, did you guys stop it? Did your team attempt to stop? Not even once did they attempt to stop it, which leads me to believe they're in on it.
Right, and the other thing is that Trump would have bailed out every single one of those states, and really the realistic thing to do would have been, if you lock down, you need to go to your populace and tell them, look, we're going to raise your taxes to pay for the lockdowns because we had to shut down the economy because COVID's going to kill absolutely everybody, the mommies, the goldfish, the babies, the trees, whatever. But they won't do that. They'll bail them out. So once again, now the states who stayed open, to Ron DeSantis, Kristi Noem's credit, they stayed open. There's no incentive for them to stay open or for other states to necessarily open if they know that, well, we could shut it down and virtue signal to our voters to stay home and we're going to send you free money. So, why be responsible? It's such like a self-licking ice cream cone that COVID's just the gift that keeps on giving, because you keep handing out free money to everybody. And anytime anything wrong happens, you can just blame it on COVID instead of taking responsibility for being a piece of shit and shutting down your state.
That's why I only really give shout out credit to what's-her-face, Kristi Noem. She's the only true governor who said we are never shutting down, and they're the only one. And everybody's like, Florida, Texas, they shut down.
They did, yeah.
Like, they shut down. It was only her who was like, nope, we ain't doing it. And then sat through the media shitstorm, sat through, I'm sure, the political shitstorm in her state, and she's like, nope. And their numbers are fucking fine.
Right. Exactly. That's the funniest part, is that all the states that didn't lock down, dude, they look no different when you look at the numbers. And everybody knows Tom Woods, but he did absolutely phenomenal work on lockdowns and kind of pointing out what a hoax that was. And we know that diet and exercise plays a huge role in overall mortality. And I had a leftist friend, arguing with me once. Well, we've been telling people to, eat right and exercise for years now, and nobody does. I'm like, okay, so you just said it yourself. Now you take your own risk in your own hands. If you're not willing to improve your health, guess what? Pay the fucking consequences. Just don't tell me I have to pay for your consequences. If you choose to eat like shit and not exercise and not take steps to, better your health, risk is on you, dude. Good luck.
100. I agree. And it's also like, and you see all these companies being like, we'll give you 2 Krispy Kreme donuts for you if you get this shit. Like, that seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
That's like offering someone AIDS blood if they're trying to cure AIDS. Like, you want some AIDS blood in your blood? It's like, no, man, I already have enough AIDS blood in my blood. Like, oh, okay, we thought that might help.
Yeah, go to the nursing homes and tell them to keep sleeping around. That's where the most STDs are transferred. So, hey, don't offer them protection. Tell them you'll give them a softer bed or something.
My boyfriend and love of my life, Dickie Walnut, says BRCC sucks, by the way, because I think they criticized the
Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I don't. I can't say I've followed them that much. I do like their coffee, so I'm sorry. I disagree with their stance about Kyle Rittenhouse, if I remember correctly. I don't know specifically, but if I do remember correctly, I think they were kind of on the wrong side of that.
They were, which is wild. That
right,
a company full of veterans.
Yeah,
would be like, he was in. It's like, what?
Yeah, dude. What like, you were sponsored by Steven Crowder, who, is a fucking neocon, but like, you guys would think you'd be on like the right side of that, but apparently not. So I just like the coffee, man. Hands up, don't shoot.
You hear that, Dickie? He just likes the coffee, okay? Jesus. You can do that if you wear a Folgers shirt? You don't know what Folgers, skeletons Folgers has in their closet, Dickie, all right? You don't know. Imagine Folgers was just like, we were actually with the Holocaust.
Yeah. Full disclosure, Jeffrey Epstein loved our coffee. He said it really wound him up before he, started doing the things he was doing.
Dickie says they also give money to Democrats, but he's like, I'm wearing my old Army shirt right now, so who am I to say?
All right, Jesus Christ, man. If you want me to do a strip tease on the fucking show, I'll do it.
I'm not
really.
I'm all for gay male nudity.
Oh yeah, listen, dude. You want? I won't go there. Maybe we won't. Okay. There you go.
Dude, isn't that such a fucking dumb straight guy thing? We're like, I'll show you how gay I am. It's like a straight guy.
My god. Yeah, dude, I would have coworkers all the time, man. I will out gay you any day of the week. I'll fucking beat your dick off with both hands.
Dude, it's like gay. I'm like, I will win gay chick. I'm like, doesn't that make you gay? Like, I don't care. That's not competition. I'll kiss that dude in his mouth. How dare he say I won't? I just keep, because like I'm such also like a football guy and MMA guy in my brain. I'm like, nah, I have to win at anything I do. I'm like, I'll show him. I'll suck his dick. You say I won't suck his dick? I'll suck his fucking dick.
Well, as long as you say no homo beforehand, then we're all good.
Yeah, that's the
rule. You just have to say no homo, or else
if you say that and you close your eyes, we all know they don't count.
Yeah, there you go. No eye contact.
No eye contact. That's what makes it half gay. It's like looking at the act.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I think we talked about a lot of shit today. Please tell everybody where they can find your fucking amazing podcast. I was on his podcast. Go listen to that episode. But also, all the other episodes are great. Please just plug away.
Nice. Yeah, well, you can find my band at A Common Crown. If you go to acommoncrown.com, we'll come up. We're on all major streaming platforms. We're going to be coming out with a CD hopefully early next year. I'm going to apologize for my dog biting this fucking thing. Buddy, go. He's probably going to start doing it again. You can find me on Twitter at KMATOVCIK. You can find my podcast at In Liberty and Health on all major streaming platforms. I know it could be a little tricky to find sometimes, but if you find me on Twitter, you'll probably find my show. I want to give a shout out to Adam and Reed Coverdale for both being two huge supporters of my podcast. And, it's been awesome. I've been trucking away at them. I guess I'll announce it kind of live here, but we talked about Shane Hazel and Tho Bishop, but I will be hosting a debate between them on the 16th.
Ooh.
So for everybody tuning in, that's going to be something pretty fucking awesome, and I think it's a debate that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time. I told them both polish up their whiskey glasses because it's to be a night of spitting some hot Liberty fire. So yeah, In Liberty and Health, Common Crown, and KMATOVCIK on Twitter.
That's awesome. Hey, by the way, Shane has canceled on me like about 3 times doing my podcast. Fuck you, Shane. Do my fucking podcast.
Oh, I can't believe that, dude. He's awesome. I can't
No,
believe
okay. No, it's not his fault. It was just like scheduling and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, I got you. Yeah,
I'm
that's
just busting his balls.
Yeah.
But fuck you, Shane. Everybody else. Again, Kyle, thanks for coming on. This is a fucking super fun episode.
Awesome,
Thanks for everybody in the chat. Shannon, fucking Dickie, everybody else who's in there. Everybody, just download the Porcupine, download Cult of Us. Come see me on the road when I'm doing stand up and telling dick jokes to make you guys laugh. That is it for us. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG @Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok @Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.